Hey folks, welcome back for more of The Wandering Village. For this episode, I thought it would be fun to try out Strafon's newest update to the game. This update is called the Trading and Poison Update, and in short, trading has been added to the game, and poison also reacts differently and perhaps more organically than it did before. So for our Let's Try, I'll just be playing a pretty standard game, so we'll have ample opportunities to try out the new features. So I'm just going to go ahead and get us started with New Game, and we'll go Adept here. No modifiers for now, because again, we just want to play the game and see how trading actually influences a lot of the of our journey here. So if you take a look at our research screen, you can see we have services here, and when you click services, by the way, I really like the naming convention here. I feel like this is much more apt to include a lot of the logistics side of things that help run your village. But right here underneath Scavenger Hut, we have Trade Post. A trade post allows traders to land on Onbu. Additional trade posts increase the amount of resources available for trade. Interesting. So if you build multiple, you can exchange for more, I suppose. This is really, really cool. And I really like that it's right underneath Scavenger Hut. That just feels like a natural progression. At any rate, let's go ahead and get this town settled in. Now I'm just sort of scoping. Well, we have a lot of soil here. This is also Adept, so I shouldn't be too try-hard about a lot of this. In fact, I could probably grow my mycologist stuff and anything that needs soil up here, maybe. For the most part, though, I'm going to... Wow, you know what? I actually really don't like this map. I don't like this map that we're in right now. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get our village set up, and as I start laying out my wonky village, I'll go ahead and read out the patch notes just to familiarize all of you with the newest update. Also, if you want to go ahead and read the patch notes for yourself, I'll link the patch notes in the description below. Alright, so real quickly, specifically talking about trading, it says once you've built the new trading post, flying traders will arrive in regular intervals. Trade them your excess resources in exchange for other resources or knowledge. Now I find that incredibly fascinating because, as you know, when you're using your scavenger hut, you're using your scavengers to gain knowledge outside of Onbu. The amount of time it takes to actually get that knowledge point is quite significant. So being able to trade for that, I'll be very interested to see how that works. Also, it says regular intervals. It doesn't really give us a time, so it'd be interesting to see how long it takes. Being able to trade for knowledge is an incredibly significant gameplay change, especially because there can be moments where the area or the zone that you're in, the biome that you're in, is completely dry of knowledge, and you're sort of stuck in this holding pattern of not being able to do further research that requires knowledge points to spend. So being able to trade for it is incredibly, it's a game changer. Pun intended, I guess. Alright, though there's also a poison rework. Now, the poisonous fungi now spreads by slowly infecting the ground, creating new spawning grounds and infecting existing plants. This makes their spread slower and more manageable, but also more creeping and insidious. They now also drop spores, which can be distilled and sold to the trader, so it might be worth cultivating them if you dare. That is also interesting in the sense that I always thought that's how poison worked. I thought poison, when it happens on Onbu, that it has an origin point and then it spreads and it hits plants and then it just spreads further. Although it spreads quickly, I will give it that, especially if you're not prepared for it. If you're not prepared in a significant way where you have villagers at the ready to pull poison with their hands and have flamethrowers, then poison can spread pretty quickly on Onbu's back. But now it's suggesting that it happens much more organically at a much more manageable pace, and it's more predictable in that sense. It'll be interesting to see how that happens should we run into poison. Alright, so as we're getting started, I went ahead and built my berry gather spot here. It's a 76%. Building the mycologist farm around here, it's a little out of the way. A lot of the houses and the workers' posts are going to be right here. I'm going to be chopping down these two areas to get my farms going. And I cannot forget to actually build the, where is it? The herbalist farm right away. Granted, you know, we're not playing at a higher difficulty, but it's always good to rush to have herbs, as it will be something you use quite often in this game. So I'm thinking of like building the kitchen around this area. We have our farms here. What I want to also get started is our air wells, or at least placing them down in the world. Now, we don't have to be too precise about things, and yes, I am doing that very strange thing where I'm building like a road in between the farms just because, you know, again, there's no strategy to it. I just like the way it looks and how it shapes the farm. But ultimately, by building roads, I am getting rid of potential grid space for more plots, but that's just how I play it. That's how I like to design my little towns. Oh yeah, and there's a lot more mushrooms in the world now that I remember. That's one of the updates. This was in the villager update, and I think I mentioned it before in my Let's Try. They really wanted to incorporate mushrooms growing on Onbu's back in a more significant way, and I think that's the right step, because mushrooms before on Onbu's back almost felt so negligible that you didn't really even bother setting a villager to collect them, just because it just didn't seem worth it. But now look at that. They're like in batches now, which is really cool. What is our speed at? Our productivity speed. How do we find that again? Village happiness. Oh, here we go. We're at 125 productivity because of the houses, in culmination with our workers post. This bar, this infograph, game changer. It really changes the way you really look at how well your workers are doing and the bonuses that you accumulate for them. I'm for whatever reason, I'm really enjoying this graph here. Okay, and I decided to build my carpenter and stonecutter down here with 2 material storages. To be honest, having 2 material storages close together is quite excessive, but I couldn't stand it looking offset, so I'm just building 2, and I'll go ahead and lock one so people won't actually build there for now. It's all about aesthetics, folks, although, to be fair, I am not that aesthetically pleasing with my towns and with my face, but that's another conversation entirely. I think we're on day 3 already, aren't we? What date is Onbu move? Onbay? Oh, we're on day 1. Okay, now we're in day 2. It felt like day 3. We gotta get everything going. What are we at with production? Or productivity, I should say. We're at 150. Good food variety, good housing quality. Yeah, we're at +7 right now. Your villages are full of hope. Increased by 7. And it will last for that many times. Okay, so it will go down eventually. Alright, so we've encountered a small group of villagers. Let's pick them up. It is 2. Nice, alright. Typically, whenever you start a new game, there's always a settlement, I find, that's nearest you. And I'm always wondering, can you really speed rush the scavenger hut to try to grab people from this settlement? Like in day 1 or day 2? Because you still need the second tier of resources, which are the stone slabs and hardwood, right? And so 10 of each. And so I'm wondering, like, man, can you do that in like 2 freaking days and grab the first settlement that's there? Gotta be a pro gamer to do that. I think maybe I'm always failing or lacking on that early on, is because I always like to try to get a setup going with the town and the city layout, and that oftentimes perhaps overqueues a lot of our villagers' tasks, and so a lot of things don't end up get done like in a very concise and effective way. Hopefully the general workers can start generaling and build some of these buildings. I could turn them into builders, that's also true. Get our water finally going. We do need the research buildings up as well. Incredibly important. We are having a cold front, which is going to affect the growth rate of our crops, but to be fair, it's not like we're really growing anything with the lack of water that we have. Do beets even grow well here? No, they do not. So there goes that. Maybe let's only harvest and collect our beets, and then we'll hold off on growing anymore for right now. We do have a lot of strawberries to go through, so there's no need for us to have wasted all our water the way we have. Alright, now we can actually research the kitchen. Commit. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Once we do like a lot of the basic research, then we'll go into the trader tree. But I do want to make sure that we have the kitchen done, the village doctor, then we can go scavenger hut, then trade posts. And then get all this stone as well. It's really just a cut stone, cut tree kind of game. But it looks like we have another settlement that we're unfortunately going to miss on right now. We're heading to more cold mountain, so this is going to be interesting. I haven't actually encountered the cold mountain biome this frequently at the start of the game. Perhaps that's due to the difficulty settings being at adept, but I'm mostly like really used to going to the desert biome for whatever reason. So I guess if they're general workers, building roads or infrastructure is priority versus gathering resources, and roads just ends up being one of the infrastructure that is much more prioritized. Now let's go ahead and grab the scavenger hut here. So I wonder if that means for general workers, the priority is first building a building, and then building a road, and then gathering resources, and then hauling/carrying. I wonder if that's how it goes when they're in the general worker status. Does it actually tell you what their priorities are as general workers? No. So that's one thing that I think would be pretty cool. Maybe it's in here? No. Okay, so I think what would be really cool is if we could actually see what the focus prioritizes. So if the focus is general workers, what are its priorities? And if we could see a list of that, I think would be pretty cool. So these row of houses didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to. I don't know why the worker post is so close to this row of buildings. It should be one over, but that was my bad. And quite frankly, I'm not willing to fix it. So it is what it is. Oh, great. We've just finished the what did we finish? The scavenger hut. So now we can go directly into trade post. So let's go ahead and get that going, as well as build the scavenger hut right here. Wow, that fit really well. I'm excited to see it. We're gonna get the trading post, and find out what we can actually trade for. What do we have in abundance? Where are we headed towards now? It looks like more mountainous region. This is so weird to me because by this time, and like at the higher difficulty, like we would be so hyper focused on like growing things, but because like I don't know, because we've been in the mountainous zone for quite some time, things have just felt a little easier, I guess, in a strange way. Now we don't have enough people, so we are bottlenecked in that sense, and we do need more people doing things. We have more jobs than we have people to staff them. Alright, so we just finished researching the trade post. It's 7 by 7, 10 of 10, just as before. Wow, look at this building. It looks so freaking amazing. I suppose we could build it like right here, because that's where our storage is. Yeah, let's build it right here. Oh, you know what? I think the scavengers have gotten a new outfit. That's new, right? They look different, right? They look amazing either way. And there they go, taking off. I will never get tired of that with their gliders. That's so freaking cool. And I think it'd be pretty cool if we saw an animation of them gliding and then them coming back and having that be in sync with their scavenging time. I think that'd be pretty freaking gnarly. But perhaps that's for the future, perhaps not. Either way, I still love the gliding animation. Oh, here we go. They're building it. What is it gonna look like? This is gonna be amazing. Oh, here we go. We have the trade post. Open trade window. Wow, what is it? We're on day 20. I am really out of out of practice with this game, but we have the trade post finally. Trader resource amount 100%. Durability high. Okay, cool. Build additional trade posts to increase the amount, right? So we open up the trade menu, and then the trade will, oh, it does tell us the interval. They'll arrive in about a day. So we have medium value, low value, super low. Water is really low value. Come on. But our medium value, stone and wood are medium value. Interesting. I like that they break this up into tiers. That's really helpful. I think we're gonna get rid of some of our herbs. So unless the trader arrives, then we can start fiddling with all these sliders. But for right now, let's just wait it out, right? Because there's no one here to trade. So yeah, you do have to wait for them to come by. All right. Oh, that's so freaking cool. Awesome. Okay, well, let's wait out the day. I wish they actually they gave you the timer right here. That'd be cool. All right, so this place looks unaffected by poison. We have nomads up ahead. We are scavenging for this. More ruined settlements here. I do want to try to get more rock, and we need more rock and wood anyway. Oh, here we go. Here's the trader. Oh, nice. Cool. I'm really loving the design of the ship as well. Okay, let's take a look. Open up trade menu. What do you have to trade? Here's knowledge. High value. You can have up to 6. And then, oh, it's a point system with the offer. Ah, I see. So if I wanted to sell this many, I guess how much is one? 200. Wow, so 20 herbs. So herbs are a great way of like having your starter bargaining currency. Wow, if I hadn't known that, I would have really focused on herbs. Because you really only need herbs for that poison event, right? So if you can stockpile herbs early, then you're in a good place. But as of right now, I don't need knowledge. But that's really cool that you can trade for it. Love that. Instead, however, what is this? Oh, sapling. Used to plant trees. Okay, and then we could buy we could buy wood planks. Interesting. Now I do understand why they put stone and wood as a medium value, because it is like the foundational resource to everything essentially. But if I can be completely honest, I feel like that should be low value. And I know that might sound kind of like, why, you could really abuse that through trade then. But when you think about it, it's like you're going to be trading for a lot of things anyway to get excess stone and wood, because you're going to eventually run out on Onbu's back. And well, maybe you won't. Maybe I'm so used to playing at the harder difficulties that I don't realize how abundant resources are, and at like the difficulty of adept and below. But maybe medium value is about right then, all things considered. All right, 360. What do I need to match that? I can do 360 here, and then I can get 1 knowledge by trading up to 560. Yeah, there you go. I think that's good. 360 for 360. That's a good trade, I feel. Yeah, let's do it. Our first trade. Confirm. Yes, there you have it. It'd be kind of cool too if like the trader had an opinion of you, or different traders had opinions of you, so that you could get bonuses or decreases and stuff like that. But anyways, that's really cool implementation. And in fact, I really feel like trading, I think, has been one of the things that have been in the works for quite some time for this game, and I'm really glad to see it implemented now. Well, are we gonna dodge that tornado? Nice. Great. Awaiting decision. Pick up the settlers. 5 people. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's kind of where we need to be at right now. I think 25 to 30 is a nice spot for us. Oh, nice. The trader has returned. Awesome. All right. So it's like every 2 to 3 days it feels. And it looks like he's brought more stuff. Wow. Will you look at that? High value is planks and... Okay, so if you're ever caught in a really good loop with wood and stone, making them into slabs, and wood planks is a much more accessible way of having high value items. And in that sense, you can trade for... Look at this. You can trade for biogas. Oh, you love that. I love that. It's so freaking awesome, folks. It just feels like it's more complete and more lively the world is whenever there's like traders in this kind of colony sim, because sometimes it can feel like like I mentioned this before, you can feel like you're in this holding pattern, this sort of standstill, when you're lacking resources and you have this like bad RNG luck with the world around you, and where you don't have access to those resources. And oftentimes those things can really plummet that save and that playthrough. But with traders, at least it's a lot more balanced, and that you have a much more fighting chance of having a pretty good strong run. I think I'm gonna buy biogas right now. 195 trade value. Oh wow, yeah, let's do that. In fact, I bought 7 planks of wood. What is trading 7 planks of wood gonna get me? 140. Seeing that we're in the cold mountainous region right now, I could sell 5 and then sell more of my herbs, because I could just grow more. Maybe I can sell 1 water. Okay, I can match it at 5 water for 5 offering points. Got it. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's also focus on gaining more herbs. Like, now that this can be a priority, our potential like massive trade resource is just making herbs. That's really freaking awesome. We're gonna specialize this in a little bit, so that way we have more to trade. Think quickly. After a long walk, the party passes a muddy spot in the desert. A brave scavenger wants to get a better look and inspect it. Seconds later, they are knee-deep in quicksand. There's no time to lose. We have to help fast. It's too dangerous to go in. Send the rest of the party to look for something to pull their friend out. The situation is too dangerous. There's nothing we can do. R.I.P. Let's look for something to pull our friend out. They managed to find a rope in time. After pulling their friend out, they discover a source of fresh water, so we get water and sand. Now, I do believe that this is still RNG. I think there is a negative outcome to this, should you just get a bad roll. I don't think it always ends up in a positive way, I think. But, yay, we got resources. Let's actually do the resources, the airwell one, automatic collector, free up 2 workers, or 1 worker. By doing that, let's find out where we go with this. Onbu Kitchen is researched, so I can go ahead and start that. Oh no, Onbu! I really wanted to head this way for the nomads, but it looks like we might be encountering poison. Oh boy, okay. So we don't have to focus on the Onbu Kitchen right now. We need to focus on... Now this will be interesting. If you run into poison, we can at least see how poison works now. It should be a lot more manageable, it says, but... Okay, well, we don't have any flamethrowers or access to build flamethrowers because right now we are researching the water automatic collector, because if I have automatic collector, yes, the production speed is decreased, but it does free up a worker, and that's what I'm most concerned about. What I like to do is I actually like to kind of mix it up, so I'll have like 2 automatic collectors and like majorly have like 3 air wells that are operated by a person, and then use the other upgrade, which is the advanced funnel. At any rate, Onbu is at least going to rest, so that's going to buy us valuable time here in preparation for the poison cloud, should we run into that. Our scavengers are back. We can search the fort ruins this time around. Then I think we'll do the shipwreck, and then we'll see from there. Yeah, it looks like we're going to run into the spore cloud. I want to say that we will be, and I kind of want to. I want to see this new poison... Oh, trader arrived. What do you have, trader? Open the trade menu, and he has fertilizer? Ooh, compost. And we have knowledge here to buy as well. I cannot believe it. We're at a point where we don't really want anything from him. Reduce that, and then I will sell... Not water, but maybe some sand? Because sand is used later for glass, and we're nowhere near that production line. So let's go ahead and sell it for that. That's alright. Yeah, it's fine. Now that I think about it, it just kind of feels like a waste selling planks for raw resources. But I mean, should I need to expand? You know what? Yeah, I'll use it so we can build more tents. We can use our base resources for that. Get more houses up. That's wild that they're eating the raw resources. They're eating beets, they're eating strawberries, but they're not focusing on the muesli that we have prepared or the soup. So if you tell them to... Okay, I think we found this out in the last playthrough that we did. If you are pretty strict with what they can eat, so let's say they don't eat that, they don't eat this, and they don't eat that, that basically lowers down their amount of food variety, right? And that impacts food quality? Does it? What I don't understand is why would they even prefer to eat it raw like this over soup and muesli? Like, that's what bothers me. But, okay, I've just set it this way, and it doesn't look like it's interacting with this gauge, this food comfort gauge. So maybe I can keep it at just eat the meals. Okay, let's do that. The automatic collector. Love it for us. Automatic collector. Yes, great, great. And then let's cut down these trees. They're in the way. What is that? Low digestion. Oh yes, because Onbu ate the rocks, the rock mushrooms, which are apparently his favorite kind of mushroom, but also cause constipation. Oh no, Onbu. Can't believe we're just stocking up on herbs. I hope they never adjust that. I feel like it's at a fair place right now in terms of value, the herbs, and having that as a main source of trade. That's a good thing, because I mean, it's really fun to have resources that you can easily trade at the very early stages of the game. So that way you can actually participate in, you know, trading and everything. So we have, this needs to be staffed, the hornblower, definitely. Especially since we're getting to a crossroads here. I mean, they're both desert biomes, so maybe it's not that important. I recant, I retract, I take that all back. Okay, so in terms of food variety, I feel like we're okay. The food quality is at +4. For whatever reason, I remember... Okay, I have our scavengers back. For whatever reason, I'm remembering that when we changed what they can and can't eat, that somehow affected their happiness. Again, I could just be misremembering, but I swore that was the case at one point. However, I'm very, very happy that we can tell them what to eat and that does not affect their food quality. In fact, now they'll just prioritize eating the meals instead, which I think is the better outcome here. See, by focusing on meals, now we can stock up on the raw resources, so that'll keep our kitchen really, really busy. Okay, good. We have a person here. Let's tell Onbu to run. Onbu accepts our commands. Great. We want to make sure we clear the tornado. And yeah, that's good. We're in a good place. We got it. We're good. Onbu, you can walk now. Thank you, Onbu. You're the best, Onbu. Appreciate ya. So I think that will pretty much wrap up this Let's Try of the Trading and Poison update. I really enjoy the trade implementation and the way the value score works. If you're wanting to give this game a try yourself, go ahead and follow the link in the description, and I'll go ahead and link their Steam page. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see how this further changes gameplay. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to do another series, but I definitely see trading having great impact in how you would normally do a playthrough. So with all of that squared away, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next one, whenever the next one may be. So until then, I will see you then. Bye for now.